Today we continue with our class Women's Guide to Practical Halachah. We start with Sefer Chaim. And the big topic is the same Lashon Hara general rules. Today's topic on non-kosher entertainment. It is forbidden to relate a story of entertainment for entertainment purposes only if it contains derogatory or harmful information. So some funny story, right? Okay. To relate an amusing incident that would cause embarrassment to any of the people involved, if told in their presence, constitutes speaking Lashon Hara. Okay, somebody maybe drank a little too much on his son's wedding. Okay, possible, right? Many humorous situation is actually quite painful to the person involved. Okay, so all of the stories are not allowed to be told. Okay, stop here. And we continue with where's the topic? 1 second. We are continuing in the laws of 3 weeks. I think. Yes, 3 weeks. Okay, so now we go to laundering. Okay. Another prohibition is doing laundry. Ashkenazi custom is forbidden the entire 9 days. One reason given is that it appears that if a person is distracting herself from the morning of this time period, this includes ironing, and even when given to a non-Jew to perform these actions. Okay. So Sephardic custom, I'm not sure if they're going to say or not, actually starts with from the week on which the Shabbat falls. So it depends on the day of the week. It's not like maybe even a few days only. So there is like almost no morning. But for Ashkenazi, yeah, we start 9 days. So we try to do all of the laundries, all of the preparations, whatever. Man needs, like all of the white shorts, other shorts, whatever, t-shirts, whatever you need. Try to launder everything, and get ready, right, for these 9 days. You can continue. So again, so not to distract person from morning, right? So I mean, everybody, I assume everybody enjoy clean and fresh laundry clothing. So of course that's trying to reduce our joy. Very interesting. A shaitel has a halachic status of item of clothing, and therefore should not be professionally washed during the 9 days. So a shaitel is a wig, right? So wigs are not allowed to be washed professionally. 9 days. Interesting. Okay. As noted above, children who constantly dirty their clothing may have their laundry done. Poskim write that adults may not add their own clothing to the washing machine together with a child's. Okay, so child's, okay, 9 days, if you have to change this little one 3 times, 4 times, like how much clothing you're going to have. That's why we have this leniency for children. But even like even though you will allowed to do it for children, we're not allowed to do it for ourselves. Even if all laundry was done, one may not wear freshly laundered clothing on 9 days. An exception, even if all laundry was done, one may not wear fresh laundered clothing during the 9 days. An exception to this is the day of Shabbos, when clean clothing may be worn, but not new clothing. Okay. This applies only to the clothing, but not to linens, towels, and tablecloth. Okay, so let's continue reading, and we're going to explain practically how we resolve this issue. So just so we know, these days are coming in a few months. Okay, there is a dispute among the poskim whether this prohibition applies to garments that are worn to absorb perspiration, such as undergarments, socks, and shells. Okay. One who is one who is going on a date is allowed to wear clean clothing, and even Shabbos clothing, but not new clothing. Many people do not want to wear the same clothing for several days in a row. Recognizing that this is an issue, there are ways in which this prohibition can be maintained, while at the same time addressing other people's needs. One is allowed to make the clothing lose their freshness, but donning them for the period of the time prior to the 9 days. Okay, that's what actually we do. So on one hand, we're not allowed to wash our clothing during the 9 days. On the other hand, even if you washed it before, you're not allowed to wear this freshly laundered clothing, right? So what should you do? So the solution is to wear all of the clothing before the 9 days. So you, for example, for a man, you wear a shirt for 2 seconds, like take it off, put it back on the hanger, next shirt, next, and that's a solution, right? So meaning it's not already fresh, it was worn in even I'll wait only a few seconds, but doesn't matter, it was not as fresh. Or some people, for example, if somebody forgot to do that, you can throw it on the floor, right? Some people, they step on it. Okay, don't step on it. If you put it on the floor, unless you just wash it, a little dusty, so it's not already as clean as it just came out from the laundry. And that's the second solution. So first solution is for more organized people who would remember. I mean, if you put yourself reminder, something that wear all this clothing. So we're talking about outer clothing, right? So undergarments, there is no problem, right? So wear all of them before the 9 days start, or as we said, second solution, just throw them on the floor and pick up, and it's already not fresh. Continue. If the 9 days have already begun and the clothing has not been worn, it is suggested that one step on the clothing instead. Step on the clothing instead. Once the freshness of the clothing is removed. So I mean, and some people do step. I mean, but if you if you step is your shoe, how is going to look like this white short, right? With your footprint, okay. So, but as I said, there is opinion if you just throw it on the floor without stepping, that's also good enough. Okay. Once the freshness of the clothing is removed, one is permitted to wear them during 9 days. So, two solutions, whatever is good for you, but don't wear fresh laundered clothing. Another option is that since it is permitted to wear clean clothing on Shabbos, each time one gets dressed on Shabbos, she may put a fresh clothing. that's genius, and wear the previously worn garments for the rest of the 9 days. Okay. However, it must be something that deemed appropriate to wear on Shabbos. Otherwise, it would be considered a preparation for a weekday. I think that's a brilliant solution. So, for example, if you're talking about a woman, so if she has, she wants to wear this, five different dresses during these nine days, for example, right? So she can wear them on Shabbos. So if it's appropriate clothing for Shabbos, yes. Otherwise, if it's for sure it's a weekday clothing, so it would be like preparation for a weekday, which is forbidden. So we're not allowed to prepare for a weekday on Shabbos, even if you don't do any melacha. Okay, so for example, so after the third meal of Shabbos, Suda Shlishis, you're not allowed to clean from the table. Of course, if there are dirty dishes and they're disgusting, they smell, and the flies, okay, that's understandable. You have chicken bones and stuff like that, yeah, you're allowed to take them out. But otherwise, if it's some other things, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to clean the table. Because why? Because it's a preparation for a weekday. Is it melacha? No, there's no melacha. but it is a special prohibition, separate prohibition. Okay. As I said, very interesting approach. I have not seen this one. Very interesting. So yeah, the wear on this on Shabbos, no problem. I guess same would apply for men. If you want, you can wear like I don't know, while you're in the house, I guess, or I don't know, Friday night wear one shorts, in the morning wear another one. Maybe like you take a nap, maybe change the third one, and for mincha wear a fourth one. So there is no problem. You can prepare 4 or 5 shorts during the Shabbos. Okay, that's also a solution. Continue. Bathing and showering. Another prohibition in bathing and showering the entire body at once. It is permitted to wash just extremities. Okay. So we're talking about 9 days. So halacha is 9 days we don't shower, just so you know. Ashkenazi custom is to forbid this during the entire 9 days period, for sure. Early poskim feel that this is true for Erev Shabbos as well. However, some contemporary poskim feel that someone who always showers for Shabbos may do so during the 9 days as well. So that's the leniency, and this leniency applies many times. What is another? I give. Don't just the first example that popped out in my head. So on Yom Tov, you're allowed to smoke. If somebody smokes cigarettes, not marijuana, if somebody smokes cigarettes, so he's allowed to smoke cigarettes only if he's a regular smoker. If person does not usually smoke, on other days he would not be allowed to smoke on Yom Tov. So same here is here. If person is used to taking shower on Friday, right? Friday afternoon, for sure, he or she would be allowed to take shower during these 9 days. Okay. Poskim discuss at length if there is a leniency for the weekdays. Okay. So some people never learn many people never learn the basic of the halachah. So the basic of the halachah, the showering is forbidden, for sure. Okay, so now we see if there is a leniency. So some people think that it's a lechatchila, like to begin with, you're allowed to shower because you had, because preparation, you don't feel good, you don't feel comfortable. Okay, so that's the point. Our sages institute all of these things not to feel comfortable, right? During the 9 days. Well, what is 9 days? It's the destruction, all of these calamities that can happen to Jewish nation during all of these years, right? So be part of the calamity, just feel a little bad. Hashem does not have his dwelling place. We, Baruch Hashem, have all of us dwelling places, and some even luxury places and stuff like that. We have food, we don't starve, and Hashem does not have place, right? So if we feel a little uncomfortable, that's maybe it's good for our teshuvah. Okay, the prohibition on bathing for pleasure. Okay, so perhaps if the intent is only to remove perspiration, it would be permitted, and certainly if the water is cooler than usual. Okay, so here's some poskim, not everybody, but some poskim in Mishnah Brura, Igros Moshe. So they say if it's colder water than usual, and it's not for pleasure. It's not for pleasure. So if you need to go to work and it's going to create Hil Hashem, that Jew came and he or she smells funny, like that's of course it would be allowed, but just quick. Like if you usually take, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes, do it in 2 minutes. So 2 minutes is enough to wash off the sweat, and for sure it's not for pleasure. It's just quickly. Okay, so but some people are strict and they don't shower, even if there's a cold water. Go ahead, yes. Somebody wants to ask a question? Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Continue. Others disagree and feel that the leniency is reserved for special situations. Okay, as we said. Simply being uncomfortable is not reason to be lenient, since it was exactly the intention of the prohibition. Right. Okay, so all of the things is for us not to feel comfortable. Okay. And somebody told me that just recently, like it was not about child. I don't remember what the question was, and asked this person, do you miss not learn Torah? So what? He said, like, what? What are you talking about? So you you miss whatever. I don't remember what was conversation about, but you should miss not learning Torah every second like this. That's normal. Whatever you, of course, I didn't say that, but whatever the person was asking is perversion. But unfortunately, that's mind of the person who is empty of the Torah would think about all of these uncomfortable things. Okay, continue fasting. It is well known that on the day of Tisha B'Av, all healthy men and women above the age of Bas Mitzvah may not eat and drink. Strictly speaking, children are not required to fast. However, they should be fed the basics, not candy or other enjoyable foods. So it's actually okay. So now we're going to Tisha B'Av. So we finished with 9 days, right? So on Tisha B'Av, everybody fasts. It's very strict fast, like Yom Kippur. All of the things forbidden on Yom Kippur are forbidden on Tisha B'Av. And if a person is healthy or even semi-healthy, so you have to consult with the rabbi unless like something like really life-threatening. So a person should fast. Children, as he said, not obligated to fast, but usually they volunteer to fast the whole fast. Of course, I mean, but if they're too little, 5 years or 6, 7 years old, so we can feed them. But same as for a sick person. So even though like okay, my mother, for example, sure, so she cannot fast. Okay, she has all of this medical condition. She must eat. So okay, I always remind her, eat the minimum of the minimum. Whatever is sufficient for you, so eat, right? But nothing is extra. Just because person is allowed to eat, or these children, so like they should feel like something is missing. So for us, for healthy people, is food missing, other drink is missing, everything is missing. But for children and elderly and sick people, so yeah, it should be something is missing. So they feel like usually I eat breakfast this and this, but today I'm going to drink coffee. So if a person needs coffee for whatever reason, some have a low blood pressure, for example, they need coffee. Otherwise, no problem. So you're allowed to drink coffee, but without sugar. Sugar you don't need. Okay, and stuff like that. Okay, continue. Washing for pleasure is not allowed. Even one finger with cold water. Upon waking up in the morning, after using the bathroom, one should wash only the ends of the fingers up to the knuckles. So only this part of the fingers. That's more than enough. Of course, if somebody soiled their fingers, of course you're allowed to wash, because it's not for a pleasure, but to remove the filth. Okay, that's a different story. But otherwise, if your hands are physically clean, so you will wash only until the first knuckle. And same, I just want to add. I'm not sure if he's going to say no. He's not going. Same in the morning when we wake up. So I always remember to put this cup next to my bed, and I put a little water, not as usual. Usually I put almost the full cup, but 9 of up a little, so to remember not to pour a lot. Okay. And same as he's saying, after restroom, or use only the minimum necessary. Of course, I just want to add, he doesn't say, but if you need to prepare food for a sick person, for a child, there is no problem. You need to to wash apple for a baby, right? There is no problem to wash the apple, even though your hands are getting wet, but it's out of necessity, not because you drive any pleasure, right? Or you need for elderly person, right? No problem. Okay, continue. Okay, sitting on low seats. It is customary to refrain from sitting on regular chair during the eve and the day of Tisha B'Av until the time of Chatzos. The prevalent custom is to permit sitting on a low stool or chair as long as it is recognizably lower than usual. It is permitted to sit in a car, bus, train, or plane, since there is not sitting for pleasure, but for convenience or safety. Okay, so let's see. Sitting on a low stool, or some people sit on the floor. They put put blankets, pillows, or something. It's like this laws of mourning very similar to the mourning when somebody is sitting shiva, when somebody God forbid passes away in the family. So a person is not allowed to sit on a regular chair. So we sit on the floor, God forbid, right? Or not some low stool. Low stool, it's like I don't know, like 3 tefachim. It's 11 inches. That's low. Okay, and how long do we sit? Like at night, right? As fast starts. So after the what is it? After the sundown, right, and in the morning. So all of the prayer services in the morning until Chatzos. Chatzos is a midday. So midday is usually. I mean, you have to check based on your location. Maybe it's 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. I mean, it depends. So after that, you're allowed to sit on a normal chair, and that's what some people when they start the lectures, they actually start at after Chatzos. Why? Because so everybody can see or sit on a regular chairs. Otherwise, when and in other congregation, they do not care so much for whatever reason, and everybody sit on a normal chair, which is absolutely not right. Okay, just because he wants to speak does not mean that everybody have to violate the prohibition. But I just want to add, so if somebody is sick, like some people have a back issues, and I know many people, it doesn't matter, you don't have to be like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 years old to have a back issue. You can be 20 years old, have a severe back problem, right? So if you cannot sit on the floor, you cannot sit on this low chair. So of course, because of the medical, it's not because your chutzpah, right? You sit on this chair, like, but because of the medical condition, yeah, you're allowed to sit on a normal chair. And same with elderly person. So I remember in one show used to go. So this elderly person, he tried to be machmer. He was Holocaust survivor, and he sat on this low chair, and he could not get up. A poor person. We tried, like 4 was tried to get him up. Unbelievable. I mean, so if you have some medical conditions and you have a back issue, this issue, that issue, so you're allowed to sit on a normal chair. Continue. But if you don't have any special condition, sit on the floor, on a pillow, or on a blanket, or on a low stool. But of course, if you need to go somewhere, for example, you have to drive to different place because they're going to have a lecture. Okay, of course you're allowed to sit in a car. I mean, how else are you going to get there? Or you take in a bus or a train or whatever. So you're allowed, of course. That's a different story. Okay, continue. Limited work. The custom is not to do time-consuming work on Tisha B'Av up until Chatzos. For example, one should not clean the house or mop the floor for extended period of time. This is in order not to be distracted from the morning. The work that is permitted, for example, listening to the business news momentarily on the radio, will not result in a source of blessing. for the recipient. Okay, so we're going to read one more time, and I'm going to add some things. A girl who makes a day camp on Tisha B'Av should accept the money as a gift and not as a payment. Okay, so let's try to understand. Usually we do not work. I'm not sure why he does not say. So even though, like, halachically speaking, the work is not forbidden, but I would say until until we finish with all of the prayers, if you're going to go to your job, like after these prayers, maybe you're going to come after lunch or something. It depends how far is your job, but maybe after lunch. Like we finish like 11:30, it depends. Okay, so okay, so and I would say whoever did not properly mourn on Tisha B'Av would not see Chas v'Shalom the rebuilding of Beis Hamikdash, right? So you did not mourn for destruction. So measure for measure, a person would not see rebuilding Chas v'Shalom. So we try not to work. So proper, even though he does not say, but proper not to work. But if person needs to work for whatever reason, only after Chatzos, after the midday, Jewish midday. Okay. So and even in the house, so they say don't do any housework and stuff like that. But he does not say here. But we have a minchag, actually, that women start actually working. Men also that clean the house because it's a proper time for Mashiach to come. Right, so we try and we mourn until the middle of the day, and then now we get up and we want to rebuild the Beis Hamikdash. We're ready to accept Mashiach. Okay, continue. So the last thing he said, a girl who makes a day camp, right, on Tisha B'Av should accept the money as a gift, not as a payment. So meaning if this lady worked as a counselor or something, right, in this camp, right, so she, as we said, there is no blessing on this money, right? There is no blessing on the money. Is it curse on the money? I don't know, but as we said, I think it is, right? So. But she had to work. Somebody had to watch these children. It's not like she was doing it because of the money, but okay. So accept it as a gift. So there is some leniency. Continue. Greeting others. We do not greet one another on the entire night of and the day of Tisha B'Av. So how would you say good morning to someone, right? For example, you go to shul good morning. So it's not a good morning. Because our Beis Hamikdash was in flame on this day and the next day, right? And then you say good morning. It's not a good morning. So it's a proper of course, if somebody does not know, empty person, never learned the laws and so of course you allowed a nod or something or answer a very low tone, so so the person should get the message. Okay, so one more time, we do not greet one another on the entire night of and the day of Tisha B'Av. So why? Because same law with a mourner, right? So when you go to somebody's house, somebody says Shiva, you say, no, hello, how are you? What do you mean, how are you? His mother passed away. How is he? Not good. Guess what? Not good. He's not good. So don't ask these stupid questions. So when you come to the Shiva, so you just stand there or sit there, whatever you do. So until this person who is sitting Shiva, host, is going to come to you and talk to you. And if he decided not to talk to you, so you just sit or whatever, so and then just leave, right? So you don't start pushing yourself in. That's very important. So one more time, this includes saying hello. So we don't say hello, good morning, good night, goodbye, and how are you? Okay, continue. If a person greets one nevertheless, she should tell her politely that is not permitted. This is not, if it's not feasible, she should respond in a low voice. So, I mean, it's proper to educate people. So, you know something. So, at least this person should not feel so arrogant. Okay, just because he or she is fasting. Okay, so today, I apologize. Today we don't greet each other. And sometimes people would apologize. Oh, I forgot this and that, and they would thank you. And sometimes they would be clueless. So our job to educate people. Okay. So we have a few more. Any questions on so far on what we said? On any point? Okay. So then continue. We're almost finished with the topic. So gift giving. Gifts should not be given on Tisha B'Av, since there is a tantamount to greeting someone with a friendly gesture. Okay, it's actually from Mishnah Berurah. So on this day we don't give for gifts, right? Because the person would feel good, like somebody remember me, this gift, that's what I always wanted. Okay, that's not proper attitude. Continue. Timing of the restriction. The accepted custom is to keep the restriction of the 9th day until Chatzos of 10th of Av. This is because the fire destroyed the Beis Hamikdash, continued to burn onto that day. This is include refraining from meat and wine, showering, taking haircuts, doing laundry, and listening to the music. So even though as we said, before, you do Havdalah. Havdalah means that you show that this day is over, right? No, forget it. So even if you need to do Havdalah, so we do it on what is it, on not on the wine, right? But at night of 9th of Av, when the day finished, so we're allowed to eat and drink. Of course, no meat and no wine. So all other foods, whatever you were drinking before. Because why? Because our sages explained that. So he gives one. He said continue burning into the day. So actually, the Gemara said that Beis Hamikdash was burned into Shkia. Shkia meaning until the sunset of the 10th. So the whole 10th. Destruction started on 9th, but it was continue burning into the 10th, right? That's why we rely on a leniency, like a partial day. It's like the whole day. So at least we do, because there is some lenient opinion that it was burning until the noon only. So we go at least until the noon. So only after the noon you can take a haircut and drink wine, do laundry and other things. Right. Continue. That's a very, very interesting. So if Tisha B'Av falls on Thursday, right, there are leniency for the 10th of Av, since it is Erev Shabbos, right? So falls on Thursday, meaning it's Thursday. Thursday we fasted, right? And it was 9th, and the 10th is actually on Friday. So of course on Friday you have to prepare food for Shabbos. So on Friday you have to maybe taste meat, right? Because you would be allowed to eat meat on Friday night, and plus you're allowed to take a haircut. So I mean, if you leave everything until after the Chatzos, like midday, you might not have enough time, right? And plus showering and other things. Maybe somebody wants to take haircut. Yeah. So it says. So one more time the whole sentence. If the Shabbat falls on Thursday, there are leniency for the 10th of Av, since it is Erev Shabbos. So Erev Shabbos is very different. Okay, showering and haircuts are allowed on Friday, the entire day. The Friday is an entire day. The laundry is permitted from Thursday night after the fast. Okay, so laundry is permitted from Thursday night after the fast. So I mean the leniency, because we're not doing it because we do not care about the holidays, but we have to prepare for Shabbos. So if you're going to leave, even though I mean that's what he said, but Reb Moshe Zatzal, I think he ruled actually Friday morning. Okay, so but I'm not sure whose opinion, that does not say in the Bible. However, the consuming meat and wine and listening to the music are allowed only Chatzos on Friday. So this what is it? Eating meat and wine is not those are not necessities, right? And listening music, of course. Oh yeah. So the discussion. And now I remember the story that I shagged this person. So about that person is like suffering without listening to the music. This music. So I said, do you suffer without learning Torah? Like 1 hour, okay? Like how do you feel? One day without learning Torah, would you suffer? So that's the problem. You have to do correction of your soul. Music. You can go the whole life without music, but you're not allowed to go 1 day without Torah. Okay. So last piece. Tisha falls on Shabbos, so it's possible, right? When Tisha falls on Shabbos, the fast is postponed to Sunday. Okay, so just so we understand, on Sunday. Only when Yom Kippur coincides with Shabbos, we fast on Shabbos, right? But the Tisha B'Av is pushed off till Sunday. Okay, Monday is thereupon the 11th of Av. In such a scenario, all Tisha B'Av restrictions are permitted on the 11th. Okay, so I mean, meaning because we already fast on the 10th. When the Beis Hamikdash was burned, so after it's done, it's over, so you can do all other things. Showers, haircuts, and laundry are all permitted at night after the fast. So why? Because for sure it's a 10th and it's over. But no meat and wine. Okay, no problem. Many poskim feel that the music as well is permitted on the night after the fast. Okay, so I would say after the fast. This fast is in the summer, and until you finish everything. Like depends where you live in the world. Maybe it's until you come home. Maybe it's 10 p.m. I don't know what music you're talking about. Just eat and go to bed. That's it, I would say. Okay. Any questions on what we said? Cover many religions and topics. Okay, no problem. No questions. Okay, so let's continue. So now he has compilations of topics. So it's very interesting. So it says the life cycle. Okay. First, bas mitzvah, obligated in mitzvahs. A girl who has reached the age of 12 is considered an adult and obligated in all mitzvahs. Right, it's from Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so until 12 she's not obligated, and the boy until 13 he's not obligated. But at 12 girl and at 13 boy they're obligated. So basically we have to train children until that up to this age, right? So when she is going to be 12 tomorrow, right, she has to know all of the mitzvahs that apply to her, right? So she cannot wake up on her 12th birthday and start learning the mitzvah from the beginning. It's not going to work out for her very well, right? Because she's responsible, and parents responsible. Okay, continue. Celebrating a bas mitzvah. Many authorities forbidden celebrating the occasion of bas mitzvah because it was not the custom to do so in the previous generations, or because of lack of modesty that it might be involved. So let's try to understand. If you look in history, where does this bas mitzvah came from? So people today take for granted. Yeah, what do you mean? The girl is 12. So just so you know, it came from reform, for sure. It came from Sitra Achra, from the other side, right? That's they're accustomed to this bas mitzvah. So they try to, all the feminists, all of the low life, so they decided to modify Torah. Even bar mitzvah for a boy, it was not widely celebrated. Okay, it was some celebration, but in a shul, maybe like a little kiddush, this and that, but it was not like a crazy celebration like some people do today. Like even some bar mitzvah, of course, I don't go to this stuff, but it's like I can imagine it's like a wedding or something. Okay, so for women, for a girl, so it's not custom in previous generation for sure, guarantee. As we said, it came from Sitra Achra, from the other side, and lack of modesty. So now all of these girls are going to dance. It's going to be mechitza, no mechitza. Some would come half naked. Some the neighbors, right? So the neighbors would say, "How come you're not invited us? It's your daughter's birthday." She was talking. She has been speaking non-stop about it for 2 months now, right? So we're not invited or something. So and they are going to come dressed as they dress to the pool. And guess what? So all of these things you're going to collect, right, from this bas mitzvah. However, the problem custom in many circles to permit it. Okay, so it says Igros Masha, so permitted, but okay, it's not our custom. But if that's what they want. Usually in Beis Yaakov, what they do so in the kosher ones, of course, there are many modern, but in the kosher ones they just celebrate what they do like a month, and on which like one girl, 2, 5 girls, 10 girls, whatever they have bas mitzvah, so they celebrate together. Okay. So some kind of party in a school with the teacher, this rabbits and stuff like that. That's kosher thing. Okay, so we're very, very modest. Okay, not with a guest, not with this and that. Some feel that celebration of bas mitzvah is not a mitzvah. Okay, so and therefore would not be allowed to be held in a shul proper. So okay, that's a very strong point. As so the sources. Rabbi Moshe Zatzal. So since there's no mitzvah here, right? No mitzvah whatsoever, right? For a boy, it is a mitzvah, so he's going to be called for the Torah. He's obligated to put tefillin, this and that. But for a girl, there's nothing like really that she's going to start like separate to do. I don't think so. Okay, a bar mitzvah. His celebration is more public setting and elaborate fashion since it is more recognizable that young man is an adult and he may now be counted in a minyan. Okay, so that's one of the explanations. So we can call him to a Torah, we can count him in a minyan, he can be a witness in a court, and many things. However, some authorities even encourage the bas mitzvah celebration as long as the words of thanks and praise of Hashem is praised. Okay. So we're trying to keep it as low as possible. Okay. So continue. So that's a very interesting compilation. Continue. Baruch Shaparatani is not said. It is not customary for the father to recite Baruch bracha of Baruch Shaparatani on occasion of the daughter bas mitzvah. One reason is the bracha is recited when a boy becomes a bar mitzvah. Is that the father is no longer punished for the son's sins. Okay, so it's actually in our Siddur. There's a blessing when a boy turns a bar mitzvah, so we give him aliyah to a Torah, or he reads the Torah, whatever the situation is, and father comes and he said the blessing. Okay, now Baruch Hashem, thanks God, I'm not responsible for this guy. Okay, son, you're on your own. I'm on my own. So that's it. So one example would be. So a father is responsible to do circumcision for a boy, for his son. So if he cannot do it for whatever reason, he's scared, he's not professional, whatever, most of us, right? So he would hire a moil, right, a professional person, and he would pay him money and to do that. Okay, there is no problem. Let him do it, right? But let's say father did not do it. He's an atheist. He's not Jew. He's, I don't know, whatever he's, right? He didn't. I don't know. He's not Jew. There's no problem. I apologize. He's atheist. He's anti this and that. So he's responsible only until the 13 years old. When the boy turns 13 years old, he's responsible now for the circumcision. So he has to come to the court and tell them, so I want circumcision to be done, and they have to look into it, appoint moil and organize the circumcision. So father is not going to be responsible for this son's misaction. I mean, in some sense, of course, he's going to be responsible even after he dies, right? If he raised this child as an animal, right, and the child is continued to be worse than when the father was alive. So when on Rosh Hashanah the book of living of the dead is open, guess what? All of this bad thing that this rotten fruit is doing in this world. Let's say father did not reprimand him, so it goes to the father's account. So to say that he's not responsible, okay. So, I mean, in some sense, in this world, no, but in Olam Haba, yes. Since the father he's never punished for the daughter's sins, that's very interesting. The bracha is not necessary. Very interesting. Only for the sons. The mother does not receive bracha for either daughter or son. Since the mother is not punished for the child's sin, the bracha does not apply to him. Right? So only father. I mean, that's father's job to educate children and put them on a straight path. Not mother. I mean, my mother is also educated, but it's mostly father. Okay, so let's see how big is this. How long? Oh, okay. Should we start? 1 second. Let's say it's a long section, so I guess I would stop here. Any questions on any topic? No questions. Okay. So if no questions, I'd like to continue with the Siddur. We started discussing Siddur, all of the prayers, and we stopped on. Just if you need to get it. We're now discussing last part of the Shacharit service in our called Siddur. It's page 159, and it's the section is called Ashrei Uvalitzon. So women usually don't pray until this part, but men obligated, right? So we start with Ashrei. It's praiseworthy those who dwell in your house, right? Psalm 145. And we continue. And on 155, we say we have Kedusha. So just so we know, we recite Kedusha several times during the day. So three times in Shacharit. So it's one of those times. But in this situation, you're allowed to sit, right? When we say Kedusha during the repetition of the Chazan, you are obligated to stand unless somebody like an elderly person, very weak, okay, we allowed him to sit. Right? He can pray Shemona Esrei while sitting. Somebody asked me, and other people were shocked, like, how is it possible? Oh, yeah, I'm not sure why they were shocked, but it is possible. It is allowed to pray Shemona Esrei while seated, right? If a person is sick, right, or an elderly person, he's very weak. So we had this person. He was this elderly person was very dedicated in my show, and I'm not sure how old was he, like after stroke, this and that. So they would bring him like every morning would somebody drive him, bring him on a wheelchair. I mean, he could walk, but he was very weak, and he would pray Shemona Esrei while seated. There is no problem because he's weak. That's not because he's a chutzpan or something, right? Okay, but and he would do Kiddusha, answer Kiddusha while sitting, there is no problem. But here in Uva Litzion, for sure, you're allowed to answer to Kiddusha while you're sitting. So, and while you're seated, right? And if you pray with a minyan, so it say Kadosh, 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 like loud with a chazan, like actually before the chazan, then chazan continue, and then Baruch Void, I'm not going to continue. Blessed is the glory of Hashem from His place. It's also said together with the chazan. The last thing, Hashem is reign shall for eternity. Hashem Eloch L'olam Va'et. So we say like separately. We don't say with the chazan. Okay. So 1 second. Something is missing. Oh, I apologize. I missed one page. On 153, there is a special psalm, Psalm number 20. And we actually, when we did a review of Rosh Chodesh, we said this psalm we will not say. And this psalm number 20, page 153, we don't say not only on Rosh Chodesh, we don't say on Pesach, we don't say on Chol Hamoed, like on Chol Hamoed Pesach, on Tisha B'Av we don't say, on Yom Kippur we don't say, on Chanukah we don't say, on Purim, on Shushan Purim. Shushan Purim is like next day, like 15th of Adar, right? Regular Purim on 14th and Shushan Purim on 15th of Adar. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So this psalm, so we be very careful. We don't say on some occasion when it's holidays, some kind of holidays. Okay. So then we did Kiddusha and Kaddish. I remind in like somehow some people who pray alone, they say Kaddish, and because I mean in the beginning it says that only person who prays to the minyan and answer Kaddish to the Chazan, but some people who always like used to pray alone, so somehow they tend to read the Kaddish. We don't read any Kaddish, any. There is a full Kaddish, there is Hatzi Kaddish, like half Kaddish, there is Kaddish Darabanan, Kaddish Yasam for when somebody is in the morning. We don't say any of them. It's for Chazan or person who is in the morning. And the last part is, it's not last part, we say Aleinu L'Shabech, right? Page 159. So, and Aleinu L'Shabech, it is our duty to praise the Master. Okay, so this prayer, it's very, very important. And if you see that the words are so strong, it's unbelievable. I think it was, the first part was written by Yeshua, if I remember correctly. Second part by his wife, second paragraph. And in the middle of this, you just read the commentaries, we bow. So of course we say it standing. Again, if person is sick, weak, they can do all of these prayers as seated, no problem. So after that, morning Kaddish, and the last official part is a song of the day. So we have this obligation to remember Shabbos, right? To remember Shabbos. So how do we remember Shabbos? Like today is Monday. How do we remember Shabbos? So there it is one of the obligations that the person must do, right? To say this psalm of the day, right? So let's see. Today is Monday. Today is the second day of the week before the coming Shabbos, right? So okay. So we counting after days after the Shabbos, so right, on which the Levites would recite in the Holy Temple. So every day there is a different psalm. So I'm going to skip all this. It's just on different days. And song of the day, I'm going to skip all these things. Of course, on Rosh Chodesh we say it one thing, on different days, on what is it, on Hanukkah, from Rosh Chodesh Elul, right? From Rosh Chodesh Elul until Shmini Atzeres. So we say this LeDavid, right? LeDavid. Okay. So in English it's of David, Hashem is my light. Okay. So it's Psalm number 27. Continue. Quickly. I guess I'm going to stop here. And then next we're going to see what in our Siddur is like extra things that many people do not say because they don't have time. But we will see all of these extra things that it's proper to say at the end of the prayers. Okay, so we stop here. Any questions on what we say or we did not say? Any topic?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So about the Omer count, must be recited like Shimone Esrei is following the custom, the tradition. Or can be recited any place of the house, any moment.
Okay, all right. That's, we didn't get to it, but since you're asking, so now Siddur, it's page 282. 1 second. Thank you for asking. It's a good question. It's very appropriate. So let me just open and I'm going to tell. So it's like if you pray with if you pray, I don't know how to say. If you pray Maariv in the proper time. So for example, where I pray, they pray Maariv together with Mincha. It's too early. If it's after sunset, you're allowed to pray Maariv. But since we're trying to repeat Shema anyway, so I count the Omer only after the nightfall. Okay, but if you read, for example, if you pray by yourself Maariv in the proper time, the best time after nightfall, let's say, so you pray Maariv, you finish Shmona Esrei, right? You finish Shmona Esrei, and before the Aleinu L'Shabeach, before it's our duty to praise our Master, right? Before that, you go to count Omer, right? So you go to page 283. It says counting the Omer, all the Psalms, all the Kabbalistic things that you trying to set your mind. It's very, very important. You say the blessing. On the next page you have a table and it says today I'm going to take just random day. I still did not count, so I don't want to say the proper day. So I said today, for example, today is 16 days, which is 2 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Okay, so that's the proper the language. But if you say, you can say it in Hebrew, in English, in any language you want, that's not a problem. But even if you say Omer 16, that's also you count it. It's not proper, but after the fact you're not allowed to say with the blessing. And you finish all of there are 3 other paragraphs. You finish everything, and then you go back and you say Aleinu L'Shabeach. You're saying our duty is to praise. What is it? Our duty to praise Master of all. So that's because we're trying to make all of the prayers actually finish with Aleinu L'Shabeach. It does not work on Shacharit, but Mincha and Maariv for sure we're trying to finish with Aleinu L'Shabeach. Okay. So and just to remind us, if person forgot to, for whatever reason, to count at night until the sunrise. No, not sunrise. And until the dawn. Dawn is much earlier than sunrise. So a person is allowed to count after the dawn, but without the blessing. So all of the just keep the blessing, but the whole text is the same. The rest of the text. Okay. Go ahead.
So say if I say this or ask this in other way, can it be recited separated, dictate from Maariv, or must be recited with the other prayers?
I apologize. Yes. So you're not obligated to recite it with Maariv. For example, that's what I was saying. So I'm going to say after class separate. I already pray Maariv. So I'm going to say so. It does not. You're right. It does not have to be connected. I mean, it's proper to connect since you're already there. You already pray Maariv. If as I said, if you pray in the right time, so just as well you can say. But if you pray like a little earlier, as I do. So they will say, but I don't say. Okay. And I would say it separately later on. Okay. Good question.
And the last one is about there are different texts during the counter, and there is a part that the Siddur mentions the names of the Sefirot, but they are in Hebrew. So that part can be skipped, or it's
you can skip this. So just to explain what our friend is asking. So we have this 49 count, right? And on every day you have to work on different character traits. So all of these 49 days are given to us to fix the different character traits, and that's why we have this minhag, have this tradition to go and learn the Pirkei Avos, right? So you have 7 weeks, 7 chapters to finish, like one chapter a week, right? To work on our character traits, yes. So, but if you skip it, there is no problem, right? Good question. It's on it's on left hand side. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions on any topic? Okay, so if no questions, so we can stop here. So tomorrow we're going to continue with our class of Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, Beezrat Hashem. Thank you very much and good night.
Good night.
Good night, thank you.